got a loaded show for you guys right here on the Ravens Rundown, so make sure you buckle up because it is going to be a good one. Right off the top, got some huge salary cap news for every single one of you guys that y'all need to hear. And then on the back half of that, we're going to take that salary cap news, talk Ravens salary cap, and then talk free agents that after June 1st, the Baltimore Ravens might want to look after, might want to sign with a little bit more money in their pockets. Before we get into the content, though, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel because we're in the middle of a race to 32,000 subs, only 137 away. We're getting there so quickly, and we only got a few more subs until we're there. 32K, that's the goal. I need you guys to help me out. And new viewers, I'm talking to you guys, okay? Because the analytics tell me 56.4% of our views are from those of you who are not subscribed. I need that number to go down. I need the sub number to go up. It's free. It's insightful. It's entertaining. It's all right here on the Ravens Rundown. So join us today. So we mentioned June 1st a lot. Why is that so important? Well, if there's dead money in a player's contract and he is released or retires, that charge will accelerate onto the team's salary cap for the current year. June 2nd, any player released will only have his current season's prorated money count against the salary cap, and the rest will be deferred to 2026. Now, a little bit of a disclaimer for today's show. I'm going to throw a ton of numbers at you, okay? We're going to talk a lot about money because it's important, and that could mean signing some free agents in the next couple of weeks. So before June 1st, which was, 3 days ago, the Ravens salary cap or cap space was at $12.01 million. Not a lot. And after June 1st, got a little bump up to $20.95 million. So why did it increase by a little bit over $8 million? Well, that's an easy answer. You got to make a ton of moves. You designated 3 guys as post-June 1st cuts, and after June 1st came, you got the money that was left on that contract. $4.2 million from Justin Tucker, $2.10 million from Marcus Williams. Michael Pierce, you got $1.25 million from, and Tyus Bowser, you got $1.8 million from, and this is going to confuse a lot of you, okay? You're going to be sitting there saying, Joey, what the hell are we getting $1.8 million from Tyus Bowser from? Well, if you remember, earlier in the month, or earlier last month, Tyus Bowser, he filed a grievance with the Baltimore Ravens for a misdiagnosed knee injury. And because of that grievance, the Ravens were hit with a $1.8 million salary cap penalty. Well, they did their investigation. Bowser took away that grievance because he knew he wasn't going to win the case. So the Ravens got $1.8 million back. All those numbers I just showed you, though, they don't add up to $8 million. Adds up to a little bit more than that, okay? Or a little bit more than that. So you're kind of confused. Why doesn't it add up going from $12 million to $20 million? Well, because you just spent a little bit of money on signing John Jenkins, and that officially came to be yesterday, and you saw him at practice for the first time yesterday as well. Glad that he's a Baltimore Raven. So, we talk extensions a lot. There are 3 extensions I want to talk about that will add to the salary cap, okay? These are 3 guys that you could extend tomorrow, and if you do make those extensions, your salary cap actually wouldn't decrease, it would increase. Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, Odafe Oweh. So if any of those 3 guys get extended over the next couple of weeks, Lamar Jackson probably most likely, his extension is going to be a great thing for the Ravens cap space. However, there's 5 guys who could be extended any day now, and those guys would take up cap, would minus some of that current cap space. Isaiah Likely, Kyle Hamilton, Rashad Bateman, Tyler Linderbaum, Travis Jones. 5 names to look for, and if they get extended, the Ravens will lose some of that cap space. Now, do you notice something about those 5 names that I just listed off? Well, every single one of those players are on those rookie deals. So if you're wondering what's the difference between them and Mark Andrews, Odafe Oweh, and Lamar Jackson, well, it's easy. They're still on their rookie contracts, right? Their cap numbers are not that high, incredibly low, if we're being totally honest. So any extension is going to raise up that cap number, got to take a little bit of that cap space. Speaking of cap space, I know it happened about a week ago, a couple days ago. We got to talk about Sark's contract because the details have emerged. 4-year deal, of course, with that 5th-year option for every single first-round selection. Totaled $16.58 million, which is fully guaranteed. Got a nice little signing bonus of $8.7 million. His 2025 cap number is $3.01 million. So now, where do they sit After all that money, all those numbers that we just went over all together, look at us, just kind of being nerds all as one. They're currently ranked 19th in cap space, which isn't great. It's not bad. They've been pretty much hovering around the 24th to 25th range for the entire offseason. So given that, I'll take 19 any day. We're about to name some free agents that Baltimore might be able to sign with all that new cap space, but I want you guys to do it before I do. Name a free agent you want the Ravens to sign in the comment section down below. Coming up, we have our top available free agents for your Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to give you 5 names, so sit tight for them. You might like some, you might not. That's why you got to wait to see. But what you shouldn't wait to do is go ahead and grab this awesome t-shirt, which you can get for $15 off when you go chatsports.com/purple t-shirt. It was $35. Now it is just $20. That is a phenomenal deal. I know it's really hard to find NFL merch, official NFL merch, for just $20, right? That's not an easy thing to do. Everything's so expensive nowadays. So now when you see a good deal like this, you got to jump on it as quickly as you can. Chatsports.com/purple t-shirt is where you got to go. The link is there in the comments and description of today's video. All right, let's talk free agents. Number 5, Brandon Scherff. Not the sexiest name we could be talking about today, but I think that, anytime you could sign a guy who's an interior offensive lineman who played 17 games the season prior, that's going to help out your ball club. And we feel really good about the tackles. We feel really good about the center. But it's those guard spots, Voorhees, Falele, Cleveland, that we're kind of Brandon Scherff could just come in here and he could be a great competition piece. And so what if he wins the game, wins the competition? That's phenomenal. You found the best guy for the job. Even if Brandon Scherff isn't, he helps find that guy. I'd be very happy with that addition. Another guy I'd be excited to see back in Baltimore is Za'Darius Smith. We talked about him a good bit over the last couple of months, and I'm down to just straight up run it back with Za'Darius because last season in Detroit, even though he's getting up there in age, still had a really, really good year. 35 tackles, 9 sacks, 9 tackles for loss. He was the heartbeat of Cleveland's defensive line. And then when they shipped him off to Detroit because Detroit needed an edge rusher after the Aiden Hutchinson injury, he had a really good year with the Lions as well. And so this is a guy, I think he's still got a lot in the tank. I don't think you have to put him out there every single down. He's probably just a, third down pass rusher type player, but I think it's good to have those on your lineup every now and then. Let's stick with the defense and a little bit of a hint. The rest of these are defense. How about Kyzir White? Linebacker, played last year with the Arizona Cardinals, 137 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 9 tackles for loss. And when I think about this interior linebacker room, it doesn't fill me with the most confidence, okay? I'm a little bit worried about that weak side linebacker position. I'm not worried about Roquan Smith. I'll never be worried about Roquan Smith. But, Trenton Simpson scares me. There's a reason he didn't play a ton at the end of last season. Teddy Buchanan, I think he's got a really high ceiling, but I also think he's got a pretty low floor as well. And so why not get a guy who had almost 140 tackles last year to give yourself just a little bit more assurance at that position? You can win a Super Bowl tomorrow. Not time to be scared. Be honest with me down below in the comment section. Which position group worries you the most? Mine might be the interior linebackers. I don't know if you agree. I don't know if you disagree. But whatever you do, make sure to let me know in the comment section. Let's go to number 2 of my top available free agents, Asante Samuel Jr., the cornerback from the Los Angeles Chargers, is still on the market, and I'd roll the dice with his health. We all know that's the reason he hasn't been signed yet. His stinger injury turned out to be a little bit more serious than I think everybody kind of anticipated, but he's young. He's had a lot of time to rest, recover, and at the end of the day, he's really good at his job. And right now, I think you add him to this lineup, I think he starts over Chidobe Awuzie. I think he starts over Chidobe Awuzie if he's fully healthy without even thinking twice about it. You add him to this room, and you just look at TJ Tampa and Awuzie as depth pieces for the outside cornerbacks, and Nate Wiggins and Asante Samuel Jr. as your 2 starters. That's a really good unit. That's a unit better than last year's was. And at the current moment, I don't know if this cornerback room is better than last year. I don't think it's worse than last year. Honestly, I think it's kind of just the same. And I don't love that, if I'm being 100% honest. Speaking of the defensive back room, that is where my number 1 top available free agent resides. That is Justin Simmons, because I think Justin Simmons is the perfect fit. He's the perfect fit for this team. He's the perfect fit for this defense. He is a free safety as free safety comes. And if you add him to this lineup, you get to shift Kyle Hamilton kind of back to that nickel position, kind of back to that Swiss Army knife look. And you know what? Justin Simmons gets to be on a defense where you're not getting the lack of pass rush like you did last year with Atlanta. You're playing for a good defensive line. I think he's going to be a whole lot better. Now, the bad thing about Simmons is he might be a little bit too expensive, unfortunately. You might have to pay a prettier penny than you would for a lot of these other guys. But I think that's worth talking through. That's worth talking about. How's Za'Darius Washington recovering? Is he going to be back by November like he says he will? Or is that just, confidence from these guys because they're really, really good football players? A lot of questions that need to be answered, but Justin Simmons can help you answer some of them. Make sure you guys got me followed on Twitter, got me followed on Instagram, Joey Peterson 8. You can find me there on both of those. And make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We do this thing daily. We only talk Ravens. 2 really good reasons for you guys to lock us in, subscribe, and of course, we'll see you next time.